Почему я остановился? Не помню ничего, блядь. Вчера играл, не помню. Ох, я ведь теперь не говорю. Заспавнились. Еда спавнится. Бля, вот бы еда спавнилась, как в игре. А, да. Ой. Так, что мне нужно делать? Читать много текста. Найти катушку с грустной песней. Заебись. А, сегодня среда же уже, бля, мне надо перекрыть там что-то. Закройте шлюз в среду. На побережье нужно использовать панель закрытия шлюза. Так, все, идем шлюз закрывать. Название шейдера? Сейчас напишу. Вот так она называется. Погугли. Там сразу у тебя миллион всяких пресетов дают. Так, а мы идем закрывать шлюз. Шлюз где? Бля, музыка здесь охуенная. Такая меланхоличная. О, нет, тебя я помню, наебщик. Так, а вы кто? Здравствуйте, я шлюз пришел закрыть.
A rusting control panel with loose wires dangling out from the hole where an indicator light used to be, and a mechanical lever sitting in the middle. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the clunk, you hear a loud clunk. Then
what?
The water lock starts moving.
Блин, какой здесь жаргон прикольный. Control panel. Шлюз приходит в движение.
If we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked, not with everything that's going on.
Focus on one thing. Achieve it, then the next, he thinks. That's the task chain.
Окей. То есть, ебать, я на этой стране не был еще никогда. Радиовышка гудит от электричества. Ага. А це що? Ой, там монетки были, бля, монетки. Бери монетки. Как меня зовут вообще? Я Жак Корнелиус Кусто. У меня 66 реалов, заебись. Электрический щит, к которому подключена радиовышка сверху, может внутри что-нибудь есть? Да, посмотрим. Монеты! Мне 67 реалов, заебись. Впереди бетонное укрепление, проставившее не 11 лет. Теперь там играют дети. Ладно. Да машина разъебанная что-то стоит. Бля, круто, я здесь не был. Спасибо, да, нет проблем. Это что? За воротами видны машины, брошенные грузовики. Кстати, вот игра без решейда выглядит. Вот мой. Это, по-моему, биошоковский. Биошоковский пресет. Кстати, секундочку. Здесь работает. Здесь? Здесь вроде тоже. Это с другой стороны. А что, я с Кимом не могу поговорить? Ким.
Yes?
Nothing more. А как туда попасть, подожди? Кто-то сломал забор и срезал колючую проволоку. Почему-то звук прерывается, что за хуйня? Самих качелей я здесь уже давно не было. Это что такое? На березе сидят какие-то птички, сверху доносятся еле слышные чириканье. Где? Кто-нибудь видит птичек? Кто-то припрятал под брезентом свою музыкальную коллекцию. А вот и пластинка грустная, да? Чтобы изучить предмет сквозня. А. Это знаю. У меня новый левел? Аудиопленка найдена в хижине на берегу. На стороне А написано «Крошка церковь Сен-Санс». На стороне Б должна быть запись инструментальной версии. Чтобы прослушать ее, нужен магнитофон. Угу. Ладненько. Говорите с Титом и поднимите свой авторитет в глазах парней Харди. Блять. Я с галстуком разговариваю. О чем вы вообще? Так. У меня техника с какой-то короной. Что это? Не понимаю. Скрывайте замки, обчищайте карманы. Скользить как тень, поражать великолепием. Будьте быстрым, а не мертвым. Смотрите, слушайте и нюхайте, не упустите ни единой детали. Целься, огонь, я не стреляю. Запугивайте людей, почувствуй дрожь, настройтесь на городскую волну. Отправитесь на планету тусовок. Играйте мышцами. Это не про меня. Разве это боль? Придумай что-нибудь пожестче. Кстати, болевой порог я бы увеличил. А то, блядь, и кирпич поднимаю, мне в спину вступает сразу. Держите удар, не дайте себя прикончить. Очаровывайте женщин и мужчин, вы кукловод. Кто это такой? 41 честно. Бля, а что вкачать-то? Сука, ну как обычный. Сидишь и перечитываешься. Авторитет. Кстати, можно авторитет вкачать? Или я его в тот раз вкачиваю? Бля. Не, я драму качал. Качаем авторитет. Граффити, слава призракам нашим. Это что, деньги? Деньги? Это что? Кто-то обронил 50 реалов?
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur for cheap.
Bloc
It
obscur.
didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Что такое bloc obscur?
A black bloc. A part of the city left unrenovated after the war. Or one that has
ghetto.
fallen to gang violence. Or has become inhospitable in some other way.
Влад.
А я думаю, ты что-то вам делаешь.
Я уже сделала.
А тебе там... 40 видосов еще или сколько там? 60. Слушал.
On aerial photos, block obscures look like dark squares, hence their name.
Из побережья bloc obscur.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house. Yes, and you picked it up as part of the Jamrock shuffle.
Да,
It's
и что?
not meant as nagging. Just
We should move.
Ладно.
I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland.
Ой, да ладно тебе, Ким, что ты такое? Да, походим. Да, мы пришли. Блин, да что за тупики везде? А что, отсюда выйти нельзя? Беги, беги. Стоп, 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 стоп. Впереди слышен скрип, это вращает сломанная ось. Помятая канистра с-под топливом. А зачем ему? И что? Шарпанная канистра с нержавеющей стали для перевозки хранения мазута. Логотип за годы использования часто частичный слез, красный мазут государственного образца выглядит как краска, но пахнет гораздо хуже. Пустая катушка. На этой катушке раньше была пленка, но кто-то уничтожил ее. Ну, понятно. А это что? Лоток лейтенанта. Спасибо. Нет. Я путаюсь в кнопках. Что вот это? В лед вмерзла бутылка из-под какого-то алкоголя. Совершенно пустая. Где? Вижу. С машины. Лед у побережья трещит.
The banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Elysium Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
It appears to be so.
Это эта машина оттуда, точно. Давай смотрим ее поближе.
I agree. We should definitely
Новое задание,
investigate.
блядь, 44-е зайди.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
Ну, что мне тут вышел. Для сосков.
Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
Если проголодаешь, скажи. Мармелад не ешь, есть всякий. Да.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
Какой модели?
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
Сквозь черт? Это что такое? Monkfish. Monkfish. Не знаю такую рыбу.
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Похоже, тут заезд Джейкоба Ирва. Что? Похоже, тут заезд Джейкоба Ирвы оборвался.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes. Clearly, this is a triumph. I'd say the vehicle has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Your mocking tone finds no
I did not. But I'd say it has been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
Your mocking...
Yes. Crazy.
Your mocking tone finds no response.
Yes, quite.
Что нам делать?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Отлива подождем.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, a joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of joyriders.
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Час-два. Сесть на качели ждать отлива. А варианты еще есть? Нет? Окей.
As you sit down in the old rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight. dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
Свистеть мелодию. Давай. Давай, давай.
The
Yeah.
tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and a sunken car.
Концептуализация.
The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Бля.
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Полтора часа прошло.
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚 Model 40. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people, you know, those kinds of people. Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical. Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
Подпольных стритрейсеров.
A precinct, yes. A police precinct. Precinct 41. Your precinct.
Блять, а прикинь, это я нахуй убийцы, убил этого чела, разъебал тачку, и поэтому я все забыл, блядь, и сделал это, пока никто не видел. Вот это было бы охуенно.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Это моя машина, я отопил свою машину в море.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
Сука, как это вообще возможно, блядь? Это просто
The
совпадение.
lieutenant just shakes his head.
Боже милосердный, это моя машина, я утопил свою машину в
I'm
море.
afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
Блять, может я за кем-то гнался?
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
Блять, да не был я пьяный, я не сажусь за пьяным руль. И как, наверное, ее вытащить?
We don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
То есть я просто так там и
I'm afraid
останется?
it will have to be there like that for many years.
Блять, моя
Look at
машина.
it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
Только это моя любимая машина. Я могу ее
That
починить.
is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well.
Блять, моя машина.
You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. Well, not cheaper. This
40
motor
тысяч
carriage
реалов.
costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
That is very... You'd be... Well, not cheaper.
Нет таких денег.
Let's face it, this is a substantial...
This was 20% of the station's vehicular.
That is very... You'd be Well, let's face it.
This was
Понял.
20%.
После этого меня не примут
Station.
обратно, верно
People
же?
are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
Ох. Удостоверение пистолета теперь
The
это.
lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
Бля, лейтенант тогда в ахуе вообще просто, блядь, думает, что он во сне.
There is also a fourth thing you've lost.
Нет. Что я потерял, блядь? Веру в себя?
It's lost forever into the deepest of seas. The lieutenant. There is also more precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined.
Что?
Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
Я не знаю, что. Так все хорошо было, мы весело
You
насвистывали.
can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
Да. На деле, хотя бы можно посмотреть, что внутри. Пиздец, моя машина. Что это такое? А.
Yes. Let's go take a look.
Да, что за вопросик? Нихуя себе, такого раньше не было. Так, ну монтировка у меня уже есть, если что. Печатки подошвы снегу, они ведут прочь от места аварии. Ладно, разберемся. Сперва тачку посмотрим. О, мое удостоверение. И мундир. Полицейская волна, визуальный анализ. Трепет. Во, наконец-то на человека похож. Тонкий листок бумаги, покрытый толстым слоем синего акрила, на котором указано имя и название сотрудников полиции. С фотографии смотрит более молодая версия тебя самого. Внутри этот человек уже надломлен, но выглядит еще более-менее презентабельно. Это я, ебать. Ким, я нашел удостоверение, Ким. Ким.
Yes?
Блин, тебе нельзя об этом рассказать? Под брезентом припрятана лодка. И шо? Опа. Не-не, подожди. Подвинься. Сквозь разбитое окно видны пыльные полки, забитый стул. Я показался, ли отсюда кто-то убежал только что? В тусклом свете, который проникает в комнату, виден красный стул. Здорово. Дощатые стены поскрипывают из-за холодного ветра с моря. Ким, можешь съебаться? Бабочка! И открытый Колл-Сити. Хорошо. На открытии изображен лес труб, выпускающий густые клубы дыма в голубое безоблачное небо. Она потемнела от времени и теперь имеет нездоровый цвет старого зуба. На обороте повторяющаяся дважды надпись я выброс, адреса нет. Интересно. Вместо чего я бабочку надену? Вместо галстука. А галстук мне дает внутренняя империя. Тут 2 драма. Подожди, а внутренняя империя это... интуиция и чутье, сны наяву. Угу. Разговаривать со своей одеждой. Я даже не знаю, блядь. Врите, но не дайте обмануть себя. Блин, ну это мне больше подходит, если честно. Ну, драма. Ля, какой мужчина, а? Вот это я понимаю, блядь. Электрохимия, сумрак. А что за сумрак? Сумрак. Доверьте своему телу, запугивайте людей. Отлично подойдет нервному следователю. Вот сейчас задать вопрос. Ну да. Я ставлю, пожалуй, это. Сумрак. Электрохимия. Техника. Электрохимия и техника. Управляйте механизмом, скрывайте замки, чьи карманы. Ну я менять же могу. А электрохимия... Нет, энциклопедия. Электрохимия. Отправляйтесь на планету тусовок, вы любите наркотики, это взаимно. Отлично подойдет птицам высокого полета, любителям тусовок, копам, которым нужна искра. Блять. Мне кажется, мне уже хватит искр. Пусть будет сумрак. Все равно я все это смогу менять. У меня еще, блядь, патроны и ключи есть. Я охуею. Ничего тут нет. Да, тогда уберем его из рук. Я буду ходить как припизнутый. В правой руке у меня будет болторез, в левой кроссбар.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
Что?
Sleeping. Was it not decided that you're a hobo cop? More hobo than cop? Or was that fine irony? Oh no, he's pretty much a bum now.
Huh?
Ой, блядь. Я могу расследование до конца довести в этой лодке. Там сухо, ветер не сдувает, и денег платить не надо.
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment, officer. I understand the situation looks grim, but we must continue with our investigation.
Think of it as a salvation. You have a home somewhere. All cops do. When this is done, you can return.
Я был бы неплохо. Ты встал. Подожди, подожди. Ебать, штаны новые. У меня штаны дают эквилибристика -1 плюс 1 электрохимия. А это +1 к королевству совести. Чего нахуй? Я первый раз такой... Тут нет вообще такого. Что за королевство совести? Что это? Классические светло-коричневые штаны совершенно ничем не выделяющиеся. Они абсолютно обычные, другими словами, идеальные. Живое воображение. Ну вот почему я с ним пиздел, блядь. Не, мне мои больше нравятся. Покрытую пылью простыни, высохшие тюльпаны на кровати. Быстрое перемещение, нихуя себе. Белые занавески плотно задернуты, не дают заглянуть внутрь. Точило порядком истертое и покрытое ржавчиной. Строительные материалы. Кто-то явно бросил строительство в спешке. Деньги. Еще деньги. Вверх камень. 𝔻𝕻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚. На лодке недавно посмолили. Так, а это что? Это как оказалось среди рыбы. Нихуя себе. Логику хочу вкачать. Ботинки новые. Восприятие. Старые добрые кавалерийские сапоги. Седлать скукуна вперед в ночь. Самообладание на восприятие. Самообладание. Вы примите спин, сохраните покерфейс. Восприятие. Дело. Смотрите, слушайте и нюхайте, не упустите ни единой детали. Лодка. Мэм.
Hi, officer.
Женщина в дождевике стоит на причале и оценивающе смотрит на перевернутую лодку. На бедре у нее висит меч в ножнах. Нихуя себе.
Anything I can help you with? The name is 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. What are the other ones?
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Личный меч.
Fortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
She refuses, but your word is the law. You are law.
What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. Oh? Believe me, everyone here is a proper man. Must be something about poverty that makes all the men...
Sounds like she prefers her men to be less real.
What makes you... That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us.
Not bad.
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone.
Я подкинул. Ган. Точка. Перевод. Он меня покинул. Но я бы не так перевел.
It absolutely does not. We are not going to look for him.
No. There's nothing to find. He's dead. Lost to the waves.
Теперь вот это сообщение имеет смысл.
Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat... Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Бедняга бросится в пучину вслед за ним.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and when life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
3%. 3%. Блять, я хочу рискнуть, но я обосрусь. Давай.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Alcohol? Connect? I'm not sure I'm following you.
Давай вместе упьемся вдрызг на свидании. На первом свидании тебе понравится, обещаю.
That's a good impression. You really cracked me up, officer. Now, how can I help you?
She doesn't even understand you asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. Try again later.
Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Aye. Sunny days. You got a problem with that?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days.
Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids.
There's a moment's silence. She looks at the rain streaming down the yellow belly of the boat.
In time, when the sea turns and the winds settle, she...
My prediction, it will be at least 2 days.
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff.
Какой ялик?
Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Oh, very. Finding pieces of glass, bits of wood. Every once in a while we get dead bodies. Human.
Вынесла
What
мину.
else? Bottles, drugs also, lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass. Very romantic.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Да, блядь, да хуй его знает. Ах. Наркотики.
Don't have any. Those get cleaned out so fast even the local bums can only stand by and watch with watery mouths. Always by strangers too. Union folk don't stand this kind of stuff around here.
Угу.
Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? That's great. Until then, you should maybe start thinking about the funeral.
Sire, she doth not believe it wasn't you.
Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all? Holding a funeral doesn't mean you love death. Don't be childish. You're a police officer. Our things are part of our life world. They're made with human sweat and they share.
Life world. Someone's been reading up on last century Gottwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
If you say so.
She didn't appreciate your cold rationality.
Let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. Right. Not only snowmen, also green men.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Да.
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
Никого я не ищу.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
На самом деле ищу.
Oh? Who?
Никого не
Well,
ищу.
how can I assist you then, officer?
Увидимся.
Wow. So someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
You? I wouldn't worry about that.
See? You're so regular and vinyl brown, he doesn't even want to talk to you about it. No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry have their appeal. A very standard appeal. Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copotype is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits. Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic. You're not sure about the melody, but it might be 𝔼𝕝𝕪𝕤𝕤, possibly 𝔼𝕝𝕝𝕪𝕤𝕤, also known as the apricot suzhunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen. No, not you personally. I meant the art he was brooding needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us? Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Over there, you can find more of the same. An old military hospital. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets. And makeshift, the goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now. Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. But they're away. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them. Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Here, for you, no officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about. The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
It's a cold, cynical smile.
Riddles fits with the general ambiance here.
Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing. Oh, it seems to be a common theme these days. Isn't that what people always think when they are lost? Something I can do for you to find your way, officer?
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Рафаэль Амброзис Касто.
Your parents must have had big plans for you. Wonder if you measured up.
The question must be prompted by your sloppy posture. Straighten your back, man.
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for,
Чё-то я отвлекаюсь.
I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth. My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm. Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here. You best not be plotting another revolution under my roof. We barely got through the last one. But the room, do you want it? Don't make an old woman regret opening her house
Да
to
ладно,
the
бабуля.
police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing, and one thing only: drinking.
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here?
So, they don't hold service.
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development, used to be a supply depot. We think sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jam shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Honorable One, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous. Oh, the modesty on this one. Another, you are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop. Yes, your deeds have spoken for you, Honorable One. But to fully, even among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. Honor comes from deep within you. And to truly know one's, you need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors. People will be in awe, admiring a police officer most honorable, in a sacred ritual of uttermost righteousness. Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and you brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most shameful of deeds.
Ты ёбнутый, что ли?
The door has seen better days.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living room. After we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack.
Сука, нет.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with
Из окна видны волны, море, церковь.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Блин, сбрить усы, бакенбарды. Да я даже не знаю. Координация 2. Подожди, у меня что-то было на координацию. Или нет? Сука.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. Your hand trembles as you scratch your cheek. Oh no, that's not how a grown man shaves. Thank God, I would have cut your throat. The centipede is exaggerating. People don't actually cut their own throats when they're shaving. At least, not accidentally. The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew.
Я бы хотел попробовать побриться. Так. Давай еще раз.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly.
Только выбритые щеки.
They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven. You almost look like a professional. The
Да, я.
beardless nature of your cheeks makes the expression seem even more like
Да пошла ты нахуй. Сука. А это спать, да? Нет, спать мы не будем. Мы съебываем.
Yes?
Это самое, я побрился.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps. No, it's okay, I guess. I may have preferred the mutton chops. They sort of seem to cover the.
Что прикрывали?
Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Ага. Так, ну мы были вот здесь. Вот здесь. Хижина рыбаков. Еще довольно большая часть карты закрыта у нас. Так, ну шо? Это я куда? Я просто забрал это. Труп рябчика, набитый каким-то неизвестным материалом. Издалека может показаться, что он настоящий. Птица выглядит очень нахохлившийся и слегка сердитый. Шкет. А кто это? Девочка?
Hello, mister.
Девчушка не старше 5 лет.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skua you broke.
А карта это кто?
I don't know. Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry. Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom? That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Что у тебя в руках?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
Да.
It's Lammy.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that...
Yes. Very soft. Isn't he soft?
Пока. Прикольно. Зачем зашел? Понятно. Steam стартовала хэллоуинская распродажа. Она завершится 1 ноября в 20:00 по Москве. Биток упал. Ну ёб твою мать. О, пацаны.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of.
He looks just like me.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy.
You're bad with kids.
Ну что? Извини, потому что сейчас слишком тупые.
Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs. The other one laughs. Wow, so intellectually stimulating.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
Yes.
Ой,
Yes.
дети тупые. Блядь, я не буду это говорить. Пока, молодежь. А, вот и они, да? Что со звуком? Что со звуком? Так, с вами я успею попиздеть, а можно... А, нет, 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 нет. Ладно, 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 ладно.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is...
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
Дракон, это я.
Abigail. Oh, Abigail. Uh-huh. Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Don't call Abigail!
The man hiccups, then mumbles. He snorts and beckons you to lean in close.
Don't call Abigail. Don't call Abigail.
There's no use in yelling at drunks. He's barely holding it to...
The drunk man starts coughing a really disgusting
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Don't call.
There was little chance he'd be a reliable witness in it.
Hey, Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset.
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street. Good.
Ёп.
These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
Not this again. I was hoping that we were done with it.
Only echoes remaining of human faces? That's a Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't...
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization.
алкашей.
An idiot doom spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
It's you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Maybe. You look like you want to know how Tequila Sunset came...
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as word on the street is, you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer. And that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in...
It is.
It is.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by...
Do you remember the sound of
Что?
wood cracking? The billboard.
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs.
Может
The
быть.
time hath come!
Come.
So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time. The time hath come for Tequila Sunset, the end of all things!
Ничего не говори, так ты сохранишь больше достоинства.
After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the
Блядь, как
jetty
я выжил
and
вообще,
through
что
the
за
ice.
ересь?
We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to.
У меня голова закружилась.
We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now, and insisted that we all call you that from then on.
Я Рафаэль Амброзиус Кусто, так меня и называйте.
Nah, that name sucks. You're Tequila Sunset.
Нет, я
Just
Рафаэль
embrace
Амброзиус.
it, brother. Ours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then at some... How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After...
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah. I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct.
If you only knew.
Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it. You're doing it solo now.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of...
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Beside your gun and your badge? You said something about your hope or heart. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style.
It's more like you were cramping the...
No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard.
Please,
Бля.
don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're still working through some shit. Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all over, just... I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve.
Такс.
You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop, and for the damage you've inflicted on everyone around you. You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid."
Бля.
It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. We are saving the world.
Please! Please don't call.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what... So now, it's a pirate's life for me. Whoop-de-doo. So now, I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? Better than a beach bum. It depends, really. Are you willing to help me out?
You might get scammed here.
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. Booze! Did you already forget our party? The thing I relayed to you earlier. So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me. In that case, I'm not a storyteller.
Извините.
You too, Tequila Sunset.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I want
Ёбаный.
smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
Бутылка с амфетаминами. Бутылка спирта 300 реалов.
See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know, it's funny, actually.
He's finding it difficult to focus his watery gaze.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. The good stuff. I got one of those scientific ampoules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It was. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Those arseholes. Those arseholes charged me 4 reals to remove the damn thing, but I came out on top after all. But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I know what doctors use to like 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila.
Snakes or intestinal worms?
2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it. Yeah, be careful. It's extremely flammable. One spark and the entire...
Feels like someone set a mustard field ablaze right inside your nose, then drenched it in tear gas. Your nose is a singular source of pain, but at the same time you don't in all fairness, that might be attributed to the retrograde amnesia.
So, what's the deal, friend? Want the spirits or not?
Нет.
So what do you want then?
His tone is aggressive. You're getting on his bad side now.
Hi, by amphetamine I mean speed. Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. I mean amphetamine. I got both.
Ага, ясно.
Good, good, my man. Now what can I offer you? Bottoms up, Captain. In the civilized...
Так, теперь ты.
Tequila Suns. Wonderful. Not much, but it will do.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Ты мне это продал, кретин.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract. I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worry, it did. With my trusty 𝔻𝕬𝕤𝕤 tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded. His dilated blood vessels encircle. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the keyring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see? At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet, very quickly.
Насколько мокрый?
Wet, okay? It was raining really hard.
Ага.
I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letterbox, which was useless. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized that I wish I were tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one of the best.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I
Глупо,
still
салют.
had the key
Чё,
to
всё
my
такое красное?
office. I could wait out the storm there.
Это из-за решейда. Я поставил пресет байошоковский. Он такой винтажненький. Он даже не красный, он такой розово какой-то бордовый. Вот так игра выглядит. Так странно, что теперь Twitch пишет, типа, что первое сообщение в чате от какого-то пользователя. Так, я чё? Ага.
But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she did. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh?
Ты что-то пропустил.
Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any idea. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen.
Я бомжекопствую уже несколько дней.
The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent, first and foremost. Not being responsible for 20 other people is nice, too. But that charm wears off pretty quickly. Before you know it, you're wearing a shit-stained tracksuit and spending your days picking tear.
А чё остальные вопросы? Ну вы чё?
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I used to own my reality situation.
Трейдмарк, что ли?
My
Я
business
не вижу
buddies and I
ТМ.
had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week.
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room.
Ага, ну да.
Our concept was combining high. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high concept cultural incubator called Thin Air. The artists were happy, the clients were happy. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language. But then it all went to shit.
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
Блять, я запутался в диалоге в этом.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising. That's what's so cool about advertising. It's
Что
kind
насчет
what?
Протача?
You've never seen 100% Lycra before?
Нет, никогда.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind. Should
Я знаю
probably
даже у
be
кого
in
это
a
купил.
Good God. It's
За
nearly
что?
impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human for having touched it. Randomized trials have also found Lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. And then there's the smell. But you don't...
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Sure, it didn't really go with my lycra threads, but it did itch a lot less. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you say, Tequila? Yeah, exactly. If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? I mean, maybe I was up by the border, somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it.
О других алкашах.
My fellow members of the Union of Moribund out.
Hey, Tequila!
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary.
I thought he was a cool.
A gurgling sound comes from the direction of.
And yeah, you're already acquainted with abs. So yeah, I'm all ears, Tequila. What's in a name?
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Shut up, guys. I'm telling us.
Так,
I was once
это мы всё
a
проскипаем.
reasonably high net worth, so you don't want to just hear the same story again. What's in a...
Hey, Spiral Boy.
Shut up. I was once... I developed the paradigm. 22 full... It did. But now, one day...
His eyes are...
So I removed... I was halfway done with my... Naturally, the situation required... Ouch. So I made my way across the yard. I wish People are...
Heavy is...
Just then. But when I... Anyway. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? I don't remember you being such a dick before, Tequila. That doesn't mean you're wrong, bro. I do. But as you can see,
ну пошел нахуй.
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination, and, in short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative. Have you looked in the mirror lately? To be honest, you have the exact features of the modern artist, with that wild hair and those clothes. Perhaps you should try to write poetry someday, and critique. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Вали.
Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp? Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street. You must also apprehend criminals. Go ahead and provide savage criticism.
О, чуть я подустал. Надо осмотреться тут еще, да и заканчивать, наверное. Че?
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare, chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers.
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
18. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away. Right.
Дохлый пёс?
Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle, hurrying to work. The cold washes over you, The
Бля,
wind
печально.
moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier.
То есть нам надо что-то... Я забыл. Так, здесь девочка маленькая. А здесь мы уже не были, да? Интересно, как сюда попасть. Маленькая черная ласточка, ага. Стоп, стоп, стоп. А как? Да сколько можно? Куда ты идешь? Так тут пройти можно, чешу. Бля, охуенно. Монеты. Ага. Брать охота, надо заканчивать. Что? Вибрация бочки. Охуенно. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wall. The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. Two large beams shoot downwards, sinking. The doors remain unchanged, closed with a padlock. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the carving on the surface is smooth from the wind, but what you see a yellow circle with two X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean.
No.
Блять.
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a...
If you really think we should get in there, we need to find some other way. Yes, the pulsing base.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand. Your hands are clammy from the sea air. The piece of stick.
Not agree. Not agree. Сейчас-то у меня получится все. Сейчас у меня, блядь, лом в руках. Почему я не могу открыть?
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your hands are clammy from the sea air. The piece of sticker keeps slipping away. The lock clanks against the door.
Не согласен. Я, блядь, я буду абьюзить. Если затихло. Ага.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice. Your hands are clammy from the ceiling.
72%!
The piece of sticker keeps slipping away.
72! Это почти в 1,5 раза больше, блядь, половины. Может, мне надо... Так, это техника, да? Надо что-то на технику повесить, наверное. А что у меня есть? О, перчатки. Во. Еще что-нибудь есть на технику? Нет.
Heavy wooden doors.
83, ну.
Да
ты издеваешься нахуй.
The piece of...
Это что за бред? Я не отпущу. Пока не открою дверь, блядь, никуда не пойду.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height. There's nothing like the sound of the sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. Nothing happens. Only the sound of the padlock.
I don't think that's going to work.
Так а нахуй...
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
17? Не, ну это все. Да-да-да, нам лучше что-то другое происходит. Перчатки можно мне обратно? А какие были? Электрохимия, сумрак был. Или электрохимия. Блядь, или сумрак. По-моему, сумрак. Сумрак это... Запугивайте людей, да-да-да. Отдайте чего? Найдите куртку. Куртку. Куртку, все, да. Разблокировать не могу. Так, ну тогда на сегодня все. Бля, я думаю, я загрузился. На сегодня все. Пойду я отдыхать. Не можете открыть контейнер, поместите активный интернетировку. Понял? Завтра, не знаю, весь день, наверное, буду VR настраивать, чтобы на Хэллоуин поиграть в ужастики всякие, СЦП и тому подобное. И ютубчик вечером. А пока что на сегодня все.